Welcome to the Change-Making series by Tinker Champs, who are on a mission to educate their fellow ATL students on a variety of topics of mutual interest. As part of this mission, Tinker Champs are bringing out several micro-learning modules on tinkering, problem-solving, innovation, entrepreneurship and change-making and other topics. In this 10-part video series, Tinker Champs will help you understand the essentials of change-making, and how you can be a change-maker too. Each video is approximately 5 to 10 minutes and includes a change-making activity for you to attempt. Without further ado, let's start with episode 4 by Tinker Champ Divya Maneja, a Class 9 student from Punjab and a budding changemaker himself.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're focusing on something really crucial. How to turn those brilliant ideas, those sparks of change, into something that lasts.
Exactly. We're digging into scaling up your change-making initiatives.
And our guide for this is the fantastic work by Divya Maneja, specifically from episode 4 of the Change-Making series.
That's right. And the mission for you, listening, is pretty clear. How do you take that initial project, maybe something you built in the ATL lab, that experiment,
Yeah, that initial spark.
and transform it, make it sustainable, make it a movement, not just a moment?
I like the analogy used here. It contrasts like a firecracker.
Yeah.
Bright, exciting, but gone in a flash. With a tree, something that grows, provides value, shade, fruit, for years, maybe decades.
Yeah.
Scaling is about making your project that tree.
And let's be clear what scaling is and isn't. It's not about shouting louder about the same thing or just, bragging.
Right, not just repetition.
No. It's fundamentally about designing for continuity, for growth, for long-term impact, making sure the idea actually survives beyond the people who first came up with it.
That it reaches more people.
Exactly. And grows into something bigger than just a one-off
And
experiment.
this is so important in schools, isn't it? Because you see these amazing projects.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe a robotics thing, an environmental campaign.
Yeah.
But it's all tied to one senior student leader.
And then they graduate and poof, it vanishes.
All that work gone.
Scaling is the antidote to that. It's the system, the structure you build so that when that leader or even the whole batch moves on.
The idea stays, the impact continues.
Precisely.
Okay, so that brings up the big why. Why put in all this extra effort for scaling? I mean, just getting the first version, the prototype, is hard enough, right?
It is, but the source material is pretty blunt here. Without scaling, your impact is, fragile. It's temporary.
You solve a problem for a bit, but it doesn't stick.
Right. The underlying issue just comes back.
So let's talk about those benefits then. Moving beyond the firecracker stage, how does scaling actually change things, especially in a school?
Well, first off, continuity. That's huge. Scaling means setting things up so juniors can just pick up where the seniors left off. The work gets inherited.
So the effect becomes kind of permanent.
Yeah, or at least ongoing. Then there's reach. A project might start small, helping your class, maybe, but scaling lets it benefit the whole school.
Or even the community outside the school gates.
Absolutely. And then there's this idea of identity.
The culture shift.
Exactly. When you scale change-making, it stops being this niche activity for a few keen students. It becomes part of what the school is.
Like the sports teams or the debate club. Expected, valued.
Right. It becomes part of the school's DNA, its brand, almost.
Okay, but what about the practical side? Forcing students to organize, have roles, document stuff. Doesn't that just add boring bureaucracy?
It can feel like that at first, maybe, but that's actually where the real leadership development happens. Scaling forces you past just building the thing. You have to organize people, delegate, take responsibility, learn accountability. That's real-world stuff.
Okay, I see that. And the final piece.
Lasting impact. Scaled projects aren't just projects anymore. They become systems, evolving solutions to real, ongoing problems.
It's like multiplying the impact, isn't it? A teacher shares knowledge with batch after batch.
Good analogy.
Change-making needs that same multiplication. And in a school, the best way to guarantee that is, clubs, right? Student-driven club.
Definitely. A single student's project, however brilliant, is vulnerable. Life happens, priorities change, they graduate.
But a club has structure. It has shared responsibility. It can outlast individuals.
Clubs provide that institutional memory, that longevity,
Yeah.
batch after batch. But the key is structuring them right, so they're active and effective, not just a name on a list.
Okay, walk us through that. How do you build a strong foundation for a club that's meant to scale impact?
All right, 5 key steps here. First, define purpose clearly. And be specific. Don't be the innovation club that's too vague, it drifts.
Right. Gets lost.
Be the AI for Good Club or the Clean Water Initiative. Specificity keeps you focused, maintains direction year after year.
Okay, clear purpose. Step 1. What's next?
Step 2, build a leadership team. Critically important. You can't have one superhero student doing everything. They'll burn out.
And nothing happens when they're sick or busy.
Exactly. Assign specific roles. President, yes, but also projects lead, outreach coordinator, documentation officer maybe. Clear roles mean shared responsibility, ownership, accountability.
Makes sense. Distributed leadership. But then there's the issue of handover between years.
Which brings us to step 3. Appoint a teacher mentor. This is vital. The mentor isn't there to run the show, but to guide, offer advice.
Provide legitimacy within the school system.
Yes, and crucially, ensure that continuity. They're the bridge across graduating batches and summer breaks.
Okay, mentor in place. How do you keep the energy up? Prevent it from fizzling out.
Rhythm. Step 4. Plan an activities calendar. Scaling needs visible, consistent activity. Weekly meetups, maybe monthly challenges, quarterly showcases.
Something people can expect and participate in regularly.
Precisely. It keeps engagement high. Prevents the club from just becoming, paperwork.
And the final step. You call it the secret ingredient.
Ah, yes. Step 5. Document everything. This is the absolute key to making success repeatable.
Non-negotiable.
Totally. Record designs, code, meeting notes, contacts, lessons learned, everything. When seniors leave, juniors need to inherit actual materials, a how-to guide.
Not just fuzzy memories and a half-finished prototype.
Exactly. That's the difference between a temporary group and a lasting institution within the school.
Think about that smart irrigation system story. Started as one kid's project.
Right.
But the robotics club adopted it. They documented the first version. So the next year, juniors could easily add IoT sensors because the plans were there.
And the year after, another batch built the mobile app.
And eventually, it became this signature innovation for the school. Even local farmers started using it. The club, through documentation and structure, turned a project into a tradition, an evolving system.
And that structure, that documentation, naturally leads to scaling beyond one school. Once you have a proven, documented process.
As you share it.
Easily form networks with other schools, host joint events like hackathons, share resources or mentors. That's how you spark citywide movements.
Okay, but going big like that needs people. Lots of people. You can't run a citywide thing with just the 3 keenest students.
No, you definitely can't. And that's a huge challenge. Getting wider participation, overcoming that idea that only the geniuses or the special kids can do change making.
So how do you tackle that? How do you get more students involved?
If you want to scale, you got to democratize it. Make everyone feel like they can contribute. The sources point to 4 main ways to boost participation.
Let's hear them.
Okay, first, recognition as a motivator. Simple stuff, often. Public shoutouts, featuring projects in the school newsletter. A wall of changemakers, maybe.
Making the effort visible.
Exactly. Visibility attracts interest. People see their peers being celebrated. They think, hey, maybe I could do that.
Okay, recognition. What else?
Second, make change-making fun. This is crucial. If it feels like extra homework, forget it.
Gotta have some excitement.
Right. Frame it like a challenge, a game, an adventure. Run a 12-hour hackathon. Hold an innovation fair with fun prizes. A mini challenge like build something useful with just 100 rupees. Make it engaging.
Fun draws people in. Got it. Third.
Show real impact. This is a big motivator. Abstract projects lose steam fast. But if students build, say, a tool to help teachers grade faster.
And the teachers actually use it and say thanks.
Bingo. That real-world validation.
Yeah.
Seeing your work actually making a difference. That builds massive confidence and makes students want to do more. It proves the work matters.
Impact fuels motivation. Makes sense. And the last one.
Leverage peer influence. Showcase projects widely, not just the polished end result, but the teams working on them, assemblies, school social media.
Seeing your friends doing it.
Yeah. When students see their classmates, kids just like them, building cool stuff, it creates this positive pressure. If they can do it, why can't I?
That reminds me of the Shy Coder story.
Yeah.
This student built an amazing chatbot, but was, super quiet about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the club structure gave them a platform. They presented at assembly, and suddenly, friends wanted to join in, juniors got inspired, visibility scaled the idea organically.
Exactly. Visibility was the catalyst. So you've got the structure with clubs, you've got the energy with participation. Now you're ready to climb the scaling ladder.
Moving beyond the school walls.
Right. Taking it out into the world.
So what does this scaling ladder look like? What are the rungs?
It's a pretty logical path, really. 4 main steps. Starts at the school level. That's your lab, your safe space to design, test, fail, refine, get the core concept solid.
Okay, internal testing first.
Then you move to the community level. This means taking your prototype out, testing it in a real setting, maybe a local farm, an NGO office, the library. Get real feedback.
Feedback you just can't get in the classroom.
Exactly. Then, step 3 is the city level. Here, the goal shifts. It's about creating a standardized, replicable package, something other groups or maybe the local government can adopt easily across the city.
Making it easy for others to copy.
Right. And finally, step 4, the regional or national level. This usually involves bigger partnerships, maybe presenting at major conferences or fairs, aiming for wider adoption.
So to actually make those jumps, especially outwards, what are the key strategies? Seems like a big leap.
It is. 3 things are really key here. First, partnerships. You need legitimacy and access. Working with municipal authorities, established NGOs, local businesses, that gives you credibility.
And opens doors for real-world pilots, like testing that water filter in a real village, not just the school lab.
Precisely. Second, leverage technology. This is your amplifier. Short, compelling demo videos. Smart use of social media, like LinkedIn for Mentors. A good website. Tech takes your reach from dozens to potentially thousands.
Turning local impact into global visibility.
Potentially, yes. And third, connecting back to documentation. Creating replication kits. If you want others to adopt your idea, make it incredibly easy for them.
The IKEA instructions for your project.
Kind of. Clear build guides, user manuals, tutorial videos, FAQs. Give people everything they need to replicate your success. That's practical scaling.
Let's trace the Smart Waste Bin example through that ladder. It starts in the school's ATL lab. That's school-level testing.
Right.
Then they put it in the school canteen, get feedback from the cleaning staff. That's community level.
Getting real user input.
Next, they work with the local council, who agree to place a couple of bins in the market. They create an installation guide. That's city level, standardizing it.
Thinking it replicable.
And finally, they showcase the refined, documented bin at a national tech fair, and other cities show interest. That's pushing towards regional national level.
Perfect illustration. That methodical journey is scaling in action, from prototype to potentially widespread solution.
But, even with a great idea and a replication kit, it can still just sit there if nobody knows about it. Which brings us to marketing and outreach.
Absolutely critical. Often the missing piece. Good ideas die in the dark all the time. Marketing isn't bragging, it's making impact visible.
So how do students do this effectively? Without feeling awkward or like they're just showing off?
Shift the focus. You're not marketing yourself, you're marketing the solution, the impact. Communicate the benefit to others.
Okay, focus on the what it does, not who made it. How do they execute that?
Few key tips. 1, define your audience. Who are you trying to reach? Other students, parents, potential partners, teachers.
Tailor the message and the channel. Posters for students, maybe a newsletter piece for parents, LinkedIn for mentors.
Exactly. 2, craft the simple message. Super important. Lose the jargon. Nobody cares about the Arduino model you used.
Right.
Instead of tech speak, say, we built a system that helps farmers grow more food with less water. Simple, powerful, benefit-driven.
Clarity cuts through the noise.
Absolutely. 3, use multiple channels, physical posters, digital posts, presentations. Cast a wide net. And 4, consistency is key.
Don't just announce the launch and disappear.
Right. Share updates, milestones reached, challenges overcome, lessons learned. Continuous activity shows you're serious and keeps the momentum going.
That low-cost solar lamp story nails this, doesn't it? It scaled not just because the tech was good, but because the club consistently used videos, testimonials, posters.
They marketed the benefit reliable light relentlessly. Outreach was the engine of its growth.
Okay, so we've scaled up, we're reaching people, but how do we know if it's actually working well? How do we avoid just getting bigger but messier?
Measurement. You have to measure. Scaling should be about getting better, not just bigger. Growth without measurement leads to chaos, mission drift.
Things falling apart. So why measure? What's the payoff?
Several reasons. 1, to know if you're actually achieving the purpose you set out with. 2, to figure out what's working well and what isn't so you can improve.
3, you often need data to get funding or support. And 4, it's incredibly motivating for the team to see tangible results of their hard work.
Proof that it's making a difference.
So what should we measure? Especially if we don't have fancy tools, keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it practical. Focus on maybe 5 key things. Participation, how many people got involved? Adoption, how many people are actually using your solution?
Continuity, did it survive after the original team left? That's a big one.
Huge. Then reach, how widely is it known? And the ultimate goal. Outcome, did it actually solve or significantly improve the problem you targeted?
Okay, practical metrics. That makes sense. And this ties into Divya Maneja's own experience with Skillvora AI, right? Training that incredibly wide age range, 12 to 80.
Talk about a scaling challenge. That diversity really highlighted the core lessons.
What were the big takeaways from that?
First, that clarity of purpose was everything. The goal wasn't just teach software, it was build digital confidence. That clear focus guided all decisions.
Second, active marketing was essential. They couldn't just wait for people to show up. Flyers, posters, online pushes, they had to actively spread the word.
Third, the surprising power of recognition. Simple things like certificates and just verbal appreciation turned participants into ambassadors. They started recruiting others. Powerful scaling.
Word of mouth fueled by feeling valued.
Exactly. And finally, backup and continuity. Providing materials like slides and recordings meant people who missed a session could catch up. It kept everyone engaged, regardless of age or schedule. Retention is part of scaling, too.
So if we boil down Divya Maneja's personal tips from that experience for someone listening,
It comes down to 5 things. Have that crystal clear purpose. Plan regular, engaging activities. Market your impact actively and consistently. Recognize and appreciate everyone involved. And always, always build in systems for backup and continuity.
it really drives home that scaling isn't just an add-on. It's like a core responsibility if you believe in your idea.
It is. We've seen how clubs give structure. Encouragement builds participation, marketing creates awareness, and measurement ensures sustainability.
So the choice is yours, listening right now. Are your projects going to be those brief firecrackers? Bright, but quickly forgotten.
Or will you intentionally design them to be like that tree, to grow, to inspire others, to leave a real, measurable, lasting impact?
Before we wrap up, let's leave you with a quick challenge from the source material. It's called One Step Bigger.
Simple but effective.
Think about one change-making idea you have right now, maybe something small you're working on. Okay, got it. Now, in the next 30 seconds, just define one simple, concrete action you can take to make it reach a slightly bigger group than it does today.
Just one step. If you're helping one friend study, maybe you could write down your tips for the whole class. If you solved a problem in your classroom, could you share it with the grade level?
What's that next logical step up the ladder?
That first step is how scaling begins.
Think about that step. Take it. Keep building. Keep multiplying your impact. That's all for this deep dive.
Until next time.